Anyways, because I have no content left, going to do a tier list of these events. I've played all of these, I think, all but one, and I've really enjoyed a lot of these, but I kind of want to rack my brain and see which one I think is the best. So I added 2 levels here. I've got garbage and didn't play. The only one I didn't play, which I can just drag in there right now, is Attrition. I think if I had played it, I don't think it would rank very highly. It just wasn't all that interesting of a concept. But like I said, I was out of town when it happened, and I didn't get a chance to play it. Apocalypse, the newest event. It's pretty cool. I like the idea of being able to move the objective, but it's also kind of like a bomb, like you defuse it. I thought that was cool in theory. I'll put it in B. It's kind of on a bad map, you know. I haven't had much nice to say about Outback today. And people don't really play it the right way. A lot of people don't pick up the objective at all, and they just run around like monkeys just looking for kills. So, yeah, I think B is where that belongs. Doktor's Curse. I think I want to go S tier with this. I think Doktor's Curse was just pure fun. It was the best Halloween event, I think, at least from the perspective of the way it looked. It had like the best Halloween vibe, like the Frankenstein's monster thing they had going on. And then it was basically a play on just like the Michael Myers game mode, where everyone runs around with hammers and just beats the crap out of each other. That one was definitely the most fun, I think. Even though the concept of it was a little whack, like there were ways to cheese it. I think it was the coolest from the perspective of just like it being so different and so goofy compared to the main game. Golden Gun, A or B, A or B, A or B. I'm gonna go B for now. I think Golden Gun is super fun, and anytime it's active, I'm playing it. But like I said, they haven't really done enough to expand on the idea. It's just kind of straight ripped off of another game. But yeah, it's been done to death. It's in every game. But it is fun. It works in Siege. Grand Larceny. It's got to be an S. Me and my friends love to play custom games with just like shotguns, just blasting the crap out of each other. So this game mode was like perfect for us. And it brought back Old Hereford, which was cool. I think this was maybe the first time they brought it back. And I love that you could just destroy everything. Like it wasn't just this wall or that wall or certain spots in the floor. Like you could just blast someone through a wall or through a floor. And the people getting crushed by safes was hilarious too. So yeah, that was a cool game mode. I think that's an easy S tier. Legacy had so much potential to be fun. I hate to put this in C because I did have a lot of fun with it, but I don't think it was for the right reasons. They didn't like the changes they made to the operators for this to bring them back to like year 1 or whatever. It wasn't the right changes. It was like Doc and Rook didn't have their ACOGs, which are iconic. They gave it to like Castle and Pulse instead. And just, it was weird how they took a bunch of stuff away from attackers. It made attacking almost impossible because you had all these defenders with like their 2.5 magnification, and then you could barely get in the building on like Old Hereford. Just weirdness. But it was fun because of how chaotic it was, and just to play on some of those old maps was fun. Madhouse. I did enjoy Madhouse. It was kind of, in a way, the first event. I actually can't remember. Was it the first? I guess Outbreak was before. But in hindsight, yeah, Madhouse just it didn't really land. I mean, it was just a reskin of House, and then they limited it weirdly to only a couple operators. I think it was just because it was the ones that had skins, because they were just trying to sell the skins. I think in this event, I just was rushing in the house every time with Finka and a shotgun and just blasting people. So I enjoyed that, but I didn't need to play that event to do that. So I'm going D. There was no creativity there. Just the house was cool. That's about it. Money Heist is the only garbage one. It just was a bad game mode on a... I mean, I don't want to say a bad map, but it is a bad map for Hostage, and that's all it was just Hostage on Bank, and just with like different character skins. It was so stupid, and it was clearly just a low effort promotion. And I don't mind if they do tie-ins and promotions, but that's not the way to do it. That was so bad. Mute Protocol. I'm between A and S here, only because people broke this game mode so fast. It was like, I want to say it was less than 24 hours, and they had to disable the game mode because people were just like getting into the roof and the walls and just shooting people through. It was bad in that regard. But I like that they took a big risk with the mechanic where you essentially turn into your drone, so you could drone around and then it just like kind of spits you out wherever you exit your drone. And same thing with Defenders, you kind of warp into the cameras. It's a really cool concept, and once they fixed the problems with it and brought it back, it was probably, if anything, it should be at the top, because I think it was the most fun I ever had with an event. But they maybe should have foreseen some of the issues. I think I gotta go S tier just for the concept. I had so much fun with that. It was a shame that the community kind of ruined it, at least in that first week before they fixed it. Outbreak. By all means, Outbreak should be an S tier. It was definitely the most high effort event. It was the first event, I think. And it kind of set an unrealistic ceiling, I guess, for how good the events could be. Because it was basically a game within a game. It was like 3 Left 4 Dead levels that you could also just happen to play in Siege. It kind of made no sense. And it makes sense now in hindsight, knowing that they're working on like a Rainbow Six zombie game, as weird as that is. But I get why they would want to use like an already popular title to explore that. There was no real like overarching story, or it was hard to follow the story because you couldn't play the levels in order. And there was no real reason to replay them once you had already played them once, other than that they had challenges where it was like kill 100 aliens or zombies or whatever they were. So I ended up playing quite a lot of it, but by the end it was becoming a chore. I do appreciate all the effort that went into that though. Oh, Rainbow's Magic. It's a fan favorite. What to say about this? Everyone loves this. I mean, it's just Hostage on Plane. It's really no different than Money Heist, other than that the skins are just amazing, and the map, the work that they did to the map is amazing. Like this is just the high effort version of this. So the only reason it's not garbage or D tier is just because it's so lovable and colorful, and the gameplay is stupid, but it's kind of supposed to be stupid, so it makes a little more sense in this context than in this context. And it's, in terms of just being a reskin, it's a little bit better than Madhouse too, I think. A little higher effort. Showdown. Do I want to put it S or I think I have to put it S. I'm realizing there's a ton in S, but I may reorganize here. Showdown was maybe the event that I played the most, just because you could hop into it and just play it. Like, I don't really solo queue this game ever, but I would just like, I would grab my morning coffee and I would just hop into Showdown and like just blast people's faces. Like, it was cool that they had a different take on the game completely that still kind of played around with the core mechanics. Like it went from 5v5 to 3v3 on a tiny map, and then there was just like the one control point of like the gold or whatever it was, Western themed capture point. But it made for some really fun, fast-paced rounds that were just like bite-sized, pure entertainment that were really easy to play. And I'm happy to hear, I don't know if it's official, but I think it's basically all but confirmed that they're bringing it back. I do kind of wonder if it'll just be like Rainbow's Magic where they bring it back and it's just the same. But even if it's the same, I will probably still play the crap out of it because I love that. The first Road to 6 Invitational. Now, I put this in here. I'm trying to remember. I think this was just when they introduced the new ranked mechanics, and they kind of just threw it into the game and said to hype people up for Invitational, we're gonna let them play like the pros play, where you have the multiple round side rotations and pick and ban. It's almost hard to remember a time when that wasn't in ranked, but yeah, I mean, this was pretty low effort. I didn't really like how it was only on the weekends too, because it was so much better than the ranked or casual mode at the time that I just wanted to play it all the time. But in terms of, so maybe for that reason I'll go B. I'll put it at like the top of C. How about that? I think in terms of rolling out a new mechanic into the game, this was the right way to do it. And I like that. And it ties in with what I was talking about earlier about how I want to see them do that more. However, as an event itself, it was kind of boring given that only a few weeks later, this just became the ranked mode. So it was like, you just get like an early preview at the new ranked, I guess. But that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Then I've got both of the stadiums, and I just put the map picture down so I could remember which was which. This one was like the mashup of Hereford and Oregon. Here, I'm just gonna real quick throw both of these in A. I love the maps, and I think the first one was a little better than the second one, but they were both good. This one played with like the glass a little bit more, like where you could see but not shoot through the glass. It played with that a little bit more than this one did. And this one was more of just like a straight up mashup of coastline and border, whereas this one was like, you could see parts of Oregon, you could see parts of Hereford, but there was also totally different rooms, and this one just felt like a little bit more of like an experiment in terms of map design, whereas this one felt a lot more safe. And as a result, I think this one was more balanced, but this one was more fun. They're neck and neck though. Again, like the previous invitational event, didn't like how it was only on the weekends. I mean, right now I only play this game on Wednesdays, so I probably wouldn't even be able to play this right now, or I would have to pick a different day to play the game on. And otherwise, you know, it's just bomb on a different map. People kind of have trouble thinking outside of the box sometimes, so they just would play kind of really sweaty and default, which I think some of these game modes that went up into the S tier were a little better at kind of breaking the mold, and in these it was kind of just like, it just felt like a ranked or unranked game. But the maps were great, and I love always, as I've mentioned, seeing new maps in the game, especially ones that are good like these were, so it's a shame that they don't stick around. And the last one is Sugar Fright. I'll drop it in B. I did enjoy it, and it helped me see the potential that a deathmatch or team deathmatch mode could have for just like warming up. I think the kill confirmed aspect where you pick up the candy, which is basically just the same as like picking up the dog tags in like Call of Duty, was maybe ill-advised. I guess it helped prevent camping a little bit, but people still did it anyways because they didn't care about the objective at all. The respawn system was functional, but not great. Yeah, and that's about it. The map was kind of cool, but again, it's like they just recycled an old map, or upcycled, I guess, an old map from, I think, Rainbow Six Vegas or Vegas 2. I can't remember. I know I've seen that map before, but I just can't remember which one it came from. It's just a fine event. I don't know. It was less fun on its own merits and more helpful to see like why the game would benefit from having something like a team deathmatch mode. And maybe if they bring that into the game and it's really good, maybe I could see myself thinking of it a little more highly, but because it kind of was just a one-off thing and didn't really get reintroduced into the game, yeah, I can't really think of it too highly. So how did we do here? We had a lot of S tiers, but a lot of the events were really fun. I think they were pretty consistently knocking them out of the park last year for sure with the Mute Protocol and the Grand Larceny. I think those were back-to-back seasons. Doktor's Curse obviously is a favorite Halloween event. The Halloween events have always been well liked. Even the Madhouse, which was a little boring, it was fun. So yeah, I don't know if there's really too many big changes I want to make here. I think this looks good. So there it is, the event tier list.
Hit that like
This is
button.
alright.
Smash that bell, hit that bell button, hit this.
Destroy my pussy.
Subscribe to Dumper Man.